Hello, good morning. Um, so yeah, I wasn't like super happy with the new approach of using well, it was very mixed. Like I really like the developer experience of being able to just create these very simple functions, really, where the functions has a name and they have a description which was kind of tied into instruction. And the problem is it needs a description for the planner to understand what the function does. But when the function executes, it needs to know what it's supposed to do, which the description, like it has a different format, kind of. So we'll need to explore that some more. But then you have like this hierarchy, and I really like the execution model and what opportunities it provides. But it turns out like the at least GPT 3.5 isn't as good as identifying tasks as I thought it would be. And let's see. And also I tried running this with GPT 4, and that didn't help. It's still like pretty bad at identifying tasks. But we did discuss like, should it really identify all the tasks it needs to run? Because what if the first task returns something, and it should reevaluate the next steps? But at the same time, you want it to reason about like what it thinks it should do. So I watched this video yesterday where someone did something similar, but they only did one task at a time. Like, what's your first step? And then based on that, it chooses the next step. I don't think that's necessarily a bad approach, but I want to try something here where we still let it suggest a set of tasks, but when it receives the response on the first task and decides what the next task is, it should reevaluate the next set of tasks. So it does both things. It always looks ahead of what it intends to do, but for every step, it reevaluates what it's going to do. So that's going to be interesting. And still, like, yeah, it's funny how like the output is not what I want at all at this point, or what I would expect. But there is just something about this that intrigues me. So we're just gonna keep on doing this, if only to learn. And what we would need to do to make this, well, maybe I can show you like the current state of this. By the way, I was using. Where did I put? Oh yeah, it's inside here. GPT 4. I'm using GPT 4 here. Let's move back to GPT 3 Turbo. So now you can pass in the model. So I was thinking, I think it makes sense that you want to use the GPT-4 model for the actual planner function, and then you can use GPT-3 for the other things. Like it depends, and I'm thinking this should be part of the function definition. Is what model do you want to use if this were to become a thing? Which is likely it won't, but yeah. But here we do prompt it to generate the next set of tasks. And what we need to do now is we have used the results to call this function. Yeah. So what I'm wondering is like, should we just ignore the currently evaluated next set of tasks? Or should we bring that into the context, what it intended to do? Maybe we should try that first. So what we have here is, this is the list of completed tasks, delimited by triple quotes. The next task to resolve is delimited by yeah, I'm wondering about this. I wonder if it's, at least for GPT 3.5, it's just too much to evaluate. Like it should evaluate both what is the next task and evaluate what is the next set of tasks. Yeah. I wonder. We could, like, what I'm also thinking about here is that maybe we shouldn't just, whenever we resolve a task, we just send in the next task. It could be its own prompt. So whenever it responds to running a task, we kind of do the same as we did down here. Here, where we kind of go in and ask it to re-evaluate the next set of actions to do. And when after we've done that, then we go in and we just run this again. I think we should try that. So what would this be? So here we have next task index. So it would basically be down. But how do we know if we... Yeah, so it should... Yeah, sorry. So it should just be... we should not even do next task. So let's see. What have we done here now? Yeah. So at this point, we already have... So basically, if... Where do we have the... Okay, so already here we're putting it into pending. I think we should move this up. So before we even evaluate what to do next, we're gonna have the completed tasks. And then we're gonna check if completed tasks dot length I was joking with a colleague. Sometimes when I make jokes, I feel like I might overstep a bit. But it's with love. Like if I'm poking at you or trying to be funny, poking at you, it means I deeply care about you. But that's not always obvious, is it? It's immaturity, I think. By the way, I'm at like 90% today, I think. I had a good night's sleep for once. My partner is back up and running, contributing to the family. Full steam ahead. And our youngest has been waking up at like 5:30 for like 5 days. Had a normal night of sleep, finally. So yeah, it was a good morning. Anyways, so completed tasks length. What we want to do here is that if we have completed some tasks, we first wanted to go and evaluate the rest of the tasks. So it is basically well, I guess it's not I think it's, yeah, wait a minute. So we don't really want to pass in, well, we still want to complete the tasks. And then pending tasks. So we want to separate them. And this will be, well, idle tasks. So if we have both completed tasks and idle tasks, I'm not sure if we'll ever get to, Yeah, anyways, so if we have something completed and we still have something idle, we want to go in and ask it to reevaluate. So we're gonna steal this prompt that we used down here. Yeah, so we'll clean this up later if it actually works. Let's see. It's starting to get a little bit out of hand here. Let's see. Reevaluate prompt. Let's see. Reevaluate tasks prompt. Oh, did I do something? So this is, we're gonna change this prompt a little bit, but for now, at least, let's see. We need to do more. We need to. So here we go and we tell it to Boolean JSON. That's weird. That should just be true. Yeah, and we're basically gonna do this again. Let's see where we have it. So next task index, that's giving a summary. Here we are, re-evaluate task prompt. We code and NVIDIA Voyager, yeah, but for crypto trading. That's that's too good. Yeah, I've been reflecting on that many times. Like I have this set of skills, right? And one part of it is just sheer enthusiasm, like how you feel about using those skills. That's one part of it. But then you also have this aspect of like you want time, you want like a certain level of like living conditions, and so on. And like, how do you apply those skills to something that gives you more time to use those skills in a way that you like to use them, and how can they help you with like your living condition, and like how much money you need, like that's up to each person to decide. But the most appealing thing about money for me is time. It gives me time to do what I want. I truly don't believe, now I'm getting into this philosophical discussion about money, but I truly believe money doesn't change anything in terms of like every day, like from day to day. Like if you have twice as big of a car, you'll get used to that, and then you'll maybe you even get worse. Like maybe you bump your car and it's like a Porsche, like I don't know, 200,000 euro Porsche, and you completely have a meltdown. But our Nissan Leaf, if that gets a bump, I don't really care. Anyways, but having time to do what I want to do, that's the thing that's most appealing to me with money. But yeah. So what I meant to say is like I've tried to find a way to, money makes food available. Exactly. You don't have those concerns. uh, but yeah, I try to like, how can I make these two worlds fit so that I can use these skills to actually produce um, something that gives me more time to keep using those skills that I enjoy using, and like as you say, put food on the table and all that. But I also but there's also this aspect of, should you do a hustle? Like, should you just do a hustle so that you can do like good things with your skills after you have like enough time to do that? Um, and like you're secured on food on the table, everything's secured, like food on the table. You can spend as much time as you want doing the thing you really want to do. So you do this hustle that's ethically questionable. uh, but it doesn't hurt anyone. It's just taking advantage of like the system. I don't mean like doing bad things, but taking advantage of the system. And then you can do so many good things after that. So yeah, but I've been, when it comes to, like, I was approached by, was it Klarna? I think they're called Klarna. They're this what's it called? Uh, like what's it called when you a credit company, and they asked me if I was interested in an interview, just to kind of set the level of how I think about. I think they hustle. That's what I think. Doing credit that's hustling for me. It doesn't help anyone to lend people money to buy stuff they don't need uh, with interest. And I told them that. It was really bad. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, so I feel the same with crypto. It's like it's definitely the best kind of hustle you can do. It's more, should you do a hustle? That's the thing for me. But it's like, do I also want to like go through my life not having the time to do what I want to do? And I think I could do a lot of good stuff with my time if I had the time. But I don't have the time because I don't do the hustle that can give me that time. uh Rich, I'm a hardcore Marxist. I won't go. Yeah. Uh, but yeah. But I would love to. I definitely want to like talk more and see what you've been up to, and hear, like, discuss any ideas, and if there's a window of opportunity, I'm always eager to or I'm always eager to find windows of opportunity. So I would love to talk more about it. um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, having principles, as a principle, it's good to have principles, but it's like the world is more complex than that. And it's sometimes portrayed in movies. It's like you're kind of selling your soul to the devil, kind of thing, to do good things. Uh, like, if I only do this one thing, imagine. And it's like the bad guys in the movies, they always, yeah, but if you take this opportunity, imagine what good you could do with it, kind of thing. But yeah, crypto is definitely not morally wrong. It's just, yeah, and I guess it's because I don't quite understand crypto either, in the sense that one thing is technically, which I find it fascinating, like technically, but like how what it imposes on the world, like. And I'm not saying that the current money system is any better. But yeah, I guess it's the bubbly behavior of crypto. It's like suddenly it's worth a shit ton, and then suddenly it drops to zero, and then there's a new crypto, and then another crypto, and yeah. Take down capitalism. Yeah. But yes, please invite me to a session so I can see what you've been up to. I actually have a friend, or a friend, previous colleague, just up the street here. He does generative art with NFCs. Is that the term? NFCs. And he's been earning a shit ton of money on that. He's like going to Monaco next week or something as like a VIP person because of his work, which is very interesting. I'm just proof of concepting. I'm lazy. This is not how I typically write code. It's quite messy. It's like I just put stuff, copy paste until I can't reason about it anymore, and then I clean it up. And then also it depends on my confidence in actually keeping any of it, and I have very low confidence in keeping any of this. So it's just a learning exercise to see what happens. Yeah, it's really. I saw this presentation yesterday. What's his name? Conway? No, Conway. Anyways, he's like one of these marketing economists at a university. He's quite like popular because he doesn't cover anything. He doesn't wrap anything in. He just says it like it is. And he talked about the economy in the U.S. How it's just screwing the younger generation. Was really interesting, and how they kind of just pump money into the system, and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. It just ends up at like the top. Yeah, I one thing like playing around with these tasks thing made me think about like how horrible the prompting experience was with my previous approach. So maybe there's like, yeah, there needs to be like some abstraction over prompting, and having a template, it certainly helps. But it's also been quite confusing, like all this, like you have the instruction, at least at OpenAI, you have the instructions, but you don't know where the instructions are actually applied in the context. And then you have like pre-prompt, like pre-user prompt, where like you can put stuff in front of the prompt from the user. You can put stuff after the prompt of the user, and like playing around with this, it behaves quite differently with the exact same text. It behaves differently based on where you put it, which is very interesting. So it needs to be like perfectly clear. It seems to me that how like having like a template for this, it needs to be obvious, like exactly how you, where does this text actually appear in the context, and how should you write it, so you don't do like past tense. Like I guess that doesn't make sense, but like the way you write the prompting makes sense in the full picture. It's like you have this template of these, like, well, I don't know, maybe a template will make it more obvious. Uh, but yeah, like what I think what I mean is like when you just have something called instructions, you have no idea what that means. Like, where are the instructions introduced? How do you write an instruction? What's the kind of language you use there? Should it be a list? Should it be whatever? So that needs to be much better. And what's interesting is like it would be interesting to like create smaller tools out of this. I think maybe that's what's gonna come out of this. Like this JSON prompt I've been using here with JSON schema. It's like it's rock solid. It works exactly. Maybe it generates too much tokens, but at least it's rock solid even for GPT 3.5. So it creates very predictable responses. So maybe that could be like a tiny npm package. And then you could have like, yeah, even here, like create JSON prompt. Takes a JSON schema, and then you create a prompt, and you're guaranteed to get this schema back. That's a nice little tool that could be useful. Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, I jump between. Well, to me, it's like the most interesting thing is like, how should these LMs be put together? What's like the abstraction that should put them together? Should you have like agents with function calling, and then you have some router that makes them talk to each other? Should you rather have a more of a like, you shouldn't have function calling on them? You should treat everything as just a tiny function, and then you have a planning hierarchy instead, which is what I'm playing with now. Um, yeah, like, have you used XML as a way to do structured output from LLMs? Because I thought like it's, but maybe I'm too influenced by OpenAI, because OpenAI train like crazy on JSON responses, and they have like first class support for JSON response, at least to guarantee giving a object back that you can parse. They don't have the schema, which I find curious. Like they have JSON schemas for functions, but they don't have it for JSON output, which is weird to me. Let's see. With the following request limited by triple. Oh, let's see. We're gonna steal. We're gonna steal this. This is the list of completed tasks limited by triple colon. This is the list of your planned tasks. The list of the next tasks. Evaluate. Evaluate what the next set of tasks should be. Re-evaluate what the next set of tasks should be based on your instructions. And then we say we need to update them. So that would be next task index. Yeah, so I think it should just be this, but we need to map over them. How do we do this? Here we go. Task. Oh, so when you write this XML, this is what you pass to the LLM? I thought this was or is this the response from the LLM? The XML? Is it the input to the LLM or the output? And how does it know how to output those specific XML tags? Or is this actually in your code? Like, this is the XML description of... yeah, any, whatever. Okay, let's see. Yarn start. Oh, it's the actual output. How do you make it output that reliably? Like, how does it know? Kind of like if you have function calling, you have to pass in all the function schemas for it to understand that it has these functions and how to pass parameters to them. How does it know the tags of the XML? Oh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because JSON is very verbose. Like it has a lot of, like I saw this presentation where someone had created something called strict JSON, which was, the idea was to kind of use JSON but save tokens. But do you, so you ask it to do something, it returns some XML that's wrong, and then you edit it, and then what do you do with that? Is like, do you put that back as fine tuning, or how do you make it better? Let's see. Yeah, I never know now what it re-evaluated tasks. So request new feature, create user stories. Yeah, so this is where it like immediately just breaks down. I thought Nice. And the price here now. I thought it would actually be able to understand by just its capabilities what tasks it should do. Oh, I see what you mean. So, okay. So you have this like a prompt template, as you said, where you insert a user request, and then every time that fails, you just add what failed in the correct format to the prompt. So every time, so that's what you meant why the prompts are like huge, huge. It's because it's just a lot of examples that where you fix the response so that it gets better and better. Mm. I'm thinking to even be able to reason about this. I need to know easily write the user want to see a clear user want to build the listen with a simple click or swipe gesture so that I can remove complete or unnecessary tasks efficiently. That's great, but it doesn't suggest yeah, I thought it would be better at suggesting tasks. Just isn't. Um, have you considered using fine tuning instead? Like when you have these conversations where it fails, um, instead of making it part of the like that's way like more straightforward and you can iterate way faster and more predictably, I guess, as well. But I was thinking in terms of performance and token usage, you could like send these conversations into fine tuning of the model, and then I guess you wouldn't have that big cost on tokens on every prompt, as I understand fine tuning. But it wouldn't be as reliable, I guess, because it's like fine tuning. It's not actually part of the prompt. Um, but I don't know. I'm curious because that's how I understand fine tuning. It's just a bunch of conversations that is correct, and then that helps the model to be more reliable. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would have to fine tune for each agent. That's true. Yeah. And that, like, if you have a bunch of different agents, but at the end of the day, won't the cost be very high? Like performance, I guess there's a performance and cost evaluation there as well. Like fine tuning is like, okay, you need to fine tune each, like every agent gets its own fine tuned model, which is a hassle. But if you do it, you reduce the cost and improve the performance as there's less tokens involved in the prompting. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's like a conscious evaluation, like, okay, no, it's more expensive, but yeah, it's more reliable, and I iterate faster, and I don't need that overhead of fine different models with different fine tuning and stuff. Yeah. What was I thinking about? Yeah, I'm very curious. Like, it seems quite imminent now that like the next version of GPT is coming out. I'm very curious about that one. Um, but why isn't this like? It says create user stories, but it never like. I want to see the evaluation of the next steps. See what it does there. Yeah, what kind of computer you're running this on? I think that's been a constraint. That's not been like ideal for me. Um, I guess I'm very much like a product person, or I worked with product for very long, so I always have in the back end of my mind subconsciously like, how can I actually make this accessible to as many people as possible? And one big limitation I see with models is if you run them locally, there's a bunch of people that won't be able to run it. And just the fact of getting the product to their device, it's like, I guess you can like run it in the cloud, but it's like, that's like DevOps. It feels like if you want to build a product, it seems so much easier to just go and use something like OpenAI because everything's there, the whole infrastructure and the APIs and everything. But then, yeah, you have the problem with cost, and yeah, I guess there's no silver bullet. Oh, Grok is API. So they handle, what is Grok? Is that its own thing, or is it coming from which company? I actually have it on a save watch later list. An interview with the founder who built Grok, but they have the full infrastructure for it, or do they allow you to run it locally, but using an API? Hmm. Let's see. So why did you not even consider? Oh, is it because? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I think I put it on the wrong spot. So I don't think I should evaluate here. Where did I do this? So I am just gonna run the next task, but after I'm done running the next task, let's see, that's all. Oh my god, this is getting out of hand. Then I'm gonna do this. Let's see. Oh, but what comes first here? Because now I'm saying that's completed, so there's nothing more to evaluate. Yeah, let's not do the if. Let's just evaluate. Let's see. And then let's see. I need completed tasks up here as well. And then we'll just do another completed tasks. Oh, it's Google. for free API there, infra. But I guess it performed. Like there has to be some negative to it. Does it perform? It's not like as smart as the GPT models. But that's kind of what I want. I want something that's not smart because I want to see how far you can get with good primitives, like a framework around them. So that for me, that will be a good thing if it's actually dumber than GPT models. Let me see now. Oh. So now it should, like when it does this now, it should evaluate if it needs to do any more. Oh. Oops, I made a mistake. It did reevaluate though. That's good, but it went in a loop. And why did you do that? Is it because I'm... Oh, I think it's this one. Let's see. Reevaluate the task. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I think this should just be... Next task index +1 and then... Yeah, I think it should be like this, but this doesn't really help. I think it will still go in a loop. Anyways, let's see what happens. Oh, 8K context. Yeah, because GPT 3.5 has 16K, doesn't it? But again, like I'm thinking like constraints is always good to find novel solutions and find like creative solutions to things. And I just don't buy, well, that's the wrong way to express it. I'm very curious, like how does a bigger context window actually improve performance? Because an 8K context window is quite a large context window, like depending on what you're doing. But if you have a framework where you're able to like just having multiple agents or having like this tasks approach or whatever, there's a big opportunity to work with much less of a context window than if you had like a single agent that's going to do absolutely everything. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like that's the big differentiator. Like as you said, you had like 4K size prompts, right? Oh, yeah, this is also, I don't understand why it does this. Like I have, it chooses to do the string version. Like this is, I think the JSON schema is too complex. I allow it to just write a string here, and it writes a string with the actual. But you know, I'm not gonna. I don't need to do it like this through the JSON schema. Where is it? Name. I don't need this any of. It should be fine to just do this. Oh, what did I do? Oh no. JSON object. Oh, great. Now I had it twice, didn't I? So I have it here, and I also have it up here. Yeah. Oops. Nice. Oh, 10K prompts. Yeah. I'm also like, when you have 10K prompts, it's really interesting. I heard this presentation on, was this Source Graph? And they talked about like the latency of models, that we don't really care about the size of the prompt. Like if you think about using the cloud to talk to like an LLM, the latency of passing the input and receiving the output is negligible, because the time it takes to actually process the prompt is so high that it's just a fraction of the time. Like traditionally, when you think about passing data over the wire, you're very, very conscious about the size of that content. So you have like as immediate of a response as possible. So there's no latency in the transfer. But in this case, we don't really care about that, at least not for now. So you can have like this huge, you can pass like a full document, and passing that document over is still just a fraction of the time it will take to handle the request in the LLM. But that does give a huge ass challenge in user experience, depending on what you want to do, of course. That's why I think, like, just I tried just flipping to GPT-4 yesterday, and it takes so much more time than GPT 3.5. And as I understand it, this is just going to increase and increase and increase. Like, the smarter the models get, the like they say it's 100 times better, but it's going to take like 100 times longer to get a response from them. So it seems that we need to get into this autonomous world where the user experience isn't, it's just giving the prompt. And then it's like, bye bye, go and do your autonomous thing, and then let me know when you're done. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Maximize the smart. I like that statement. Let's see. Okay, the main result. Now it reevaluates. Oh, now it does it. Oh, and then it goes and reevaluates. Reevaluates. Okay. Let's stop. I'm gonna take a quick look at my reevaluation. Um, uh, reevaluate. What the next set of tasks should be, if any. Oh. ChatGPT-5 is, in my opinion, 10 times max this size. I haven't heard of chinchilla scaling law. But yeah, under train. Yeah, because that's also a thing we kind of forget. It's like, or just a immediate reflection I had is like, you think about like when these models are released, it's kind of they talk about like how they change the context window. Like you have these metrics for context window and all of this, a number of parameters. But it's also related to how much it has actually trained. It's not like, as I understand it, it's not like the more it trains, the more parameters and context window you get. It's like it can train for a long time, and you can just keep training and training and training and training, and it will just get better and better and better. But sometime it needs to stop, and it needs to be good enough. Yeah, you love no matter what. That's what we tell our. You should treat these LLMs as kids. They kind of like that's a funny thing. They're always, or not always, but sometimes they are like analogous, or people create an analogy to like a 2-year-old or something. And that's funny if you think about these model versions as age, like it's almost like when they are now like young and insecure. You have to give them recognition and unconditional love for them to perform at their best. Let's see what it does now. Oh, so now it just... I find this interesting. Why it doesn't... is it because I don't have... I keep forgetting I'm not using threads anymore. But this is also something I don't like about JSON schema. It's that it doesn't seem to be very good at using that JSON schema to evaluate. Like it uses it to evaluate its output, but it doesn't use it to evaluate. It's almost like it just comes in at the point of creating the output, which makes sense, like, because that's the schema, is what is the output. But there's also details in the schema about where I expect it to use that information to infer what it should actually do with the prompt itself. Not just generate the output, but actually do with the prompt. So in this case, I'm giving it the JSON schema for the different tools it can use. And I'm like super surprised that it doesn't use the tools. So I want to try something just to see if my assumptions are right. Yeah, consciousness. That's I can't jump into that one. It's too early for that. I've been watching so many. Like there is this YouTube series that mostly talks about consciousness. Like there's interviews with physicists and neuroscientists and all kinds of people talking about like consciousness and the feeling of being something, um, is very hard to accept that's just a side effect of um, like if you think about our brain as an LLM, it's just a very advanced, efficient prediction machine to keep us alive. Its goal is to keep us alive, and it's just a prediction. So language, everything is just prediction with the overall goal of keeping us alive. But where does the feeling of being something and experiencing something come from that? Why do we even have that? Yeah, that's kept me up a few nights. Um, I can't remember now. Where is this? What was his name? Um, yeah, you see my search is like chippy chippy choppa choppa. It's kid stuff. I think I'm actually. Do I subscribe to? I can't remember. Oh, maybe I can just search for that. Quests of Everything. I think it's that. Or is that like a channel? Quest of Everything? Where is that? Conscious. How to write that? Consciousness. Con- consciousness. Oh. He must pop up. Like it should pop up here somewhere. Uh, yeah, Closer to Truth. That's the channel. He goes around and interviews all these different, yeah, physicists, not only like physicists, but philosophers and like all kinds of perspectives on what is consciousness. A lot of interesting interviews. Um, but yeah, I'm starting to. I haven't really. So, what I've been like exploring, trying to understand is like how far can you get with like how should I put this? Like organizing these LLMs and scoping them as opposed to prompting. Um, like I have this very specific thing I want to do. Let's prompt engineer the hell out of it to make it perform. I think I have this with everything. I think like there's this magical way of making things just work in a very simple, elegant way. Um, and that's rarely the case. I don't think I've ever seen anything just being like as well. You can maybe you could say even like when we say a transformer is this like very simple building block enabling, but there's so much stuff that needs to happen on top of that to actually make it work. Yeah, just 2 seconds. There's something. There's a smell. Just 2 seconds. probably from outside. What the hell? Yeah, it has to come from outside. Or it's my computer. My phone or no? This is so weird. There's nothing overheating. Oh well. Let's ignore it. Sorry, I was just reading a message from a colleague. Let's see. What did I want to explore? Yeah, I wanted to explore. I have names of these tools. I think I want to try to just put them into the prompt as well. With the following tools, delimited by triple quotes. Let's give it a name and description. Yeah, and on your description. Yeah, no, let's use instructions. So in description is actually instruction. It's written as an instruction. Yeah, great. Please do. And have a great day. Yeah, maybe we should use instructions here. Instructing what am I? Okay, so now we have that with the following tools and the following request. So we're gonna try to add this to the reevaluator as well. Reevaluate what the next set of tasks should be, if any. Okay. Again, this is like, yeah. I have no idea where this is gonna end. It's just to learn a little bit. I really need to start writing things down. I'm not very organized. Okay, that's interesting. This is the first time it actually says that it intends to write code. Okay, so this is a great learning. So JSON schema is only good for actual output. It's not good to actually evaluate not good to evaluate. So if your JSON schema includes information that's valuable for the prompt itself, that should be put into the prompt. So this is good. The only thing now is write code. Let's go back and look at this thing. Write code. Where is it? Yeah. Write Vue.js code. Generate Vue.js code from the input. So I wonder what it actually passes into it here. It's so funny that it writes write Vue.js code. Because the request that goes into that thing is, or the prompt that goes in there is this thing. Use the request to call this function. Maybe it's just because I used the term write instead of generate. Use the request to call this function based on this. The next task to resolve is, okay, I don't think the next task to resolve is use the request based on its description. Use the request, but I'm also passing in yeah, okay. So I'm not gonna do this. So I already have the parameters. I want to with the following input call the, let's see, func.schema name. So we're here again, we're not relying on the JSON. We're gonna rather write this into the prompt. Call the function with the, the instruction func schema, and this is description, but it's actually instruction. Okay, call the func schema name function with the yeah, I think I'm just gonna say that because that's what it has. Like we're passing in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the full schema here. Yeah, but the schema, oh, this is so annoying. Yeah, so okay, but this is also listed here. call the tool to resolve the task. Okay, let's try that. I wonder what's happened. What will happen now? Let's see. I need to just answer my colleague here. By the way, you see my eyes are like I've ordered new glasses that doesn't reflect as much. So I shouldn't look like a... Oh, did something bad happen? Oops, what did I do? Can I report this one? Reading schema. What? Wait a minute. Wait, input? Wait, now I'm... Wait, what is this input? Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing it wrong. So... Oh, sorry, no. You should use the input. Oh, with... Why isn't there a func schema here? So did call that tool request new feature. Oh, interesting. It's saying request new feature again. But how can it do that? It doesn't know about that. Maybe I did the wrong thing. Why did it try to... what did it do now? So it started this thing, but it did request new feature. Why did it do request new feature? That tool is not available here. And that's why this is failing, because it doesn't exist. So func here is... Why was that the requested tool? And I didn't... This is pending... How did that leak into that other one? This is getting too complicated. So I have my task. It went through, it started handling it. I reevaluated. Well, I could tell it to... I could tell it to... like fail if the tool isn't there, and then reevaluate. I just want to try it again, see what happens. I don't understand what I changed that could cause that behavior. the same. Just because I changed think. What did I do? So what I changed was this thing. And it says that it can't find func schema name. But why didn't it even... It should have failed before that. What's our reading schema? Where is this? 146. Oh, it is parameters. Okay, great. So that makes sense. But why did it suggest... So it went through this, it set it to pending, blah, blah, blah. It updated, well, and it's still here. That now it's running the... So we're calling the next planner. Thinking. Are we calling the next planner? No. Yeah, sorry, we are. So we are calling this one. And then it says tool. I have a feeling it's this thing. Because it did reevaluate, right? Oh, look at this. Ah! That's what's wrong. Join. Or we need to JSON stringify it. That's wrong. That didn't make any sense. We also have to fix that up here. Where is that thing? Didn't we have two of them? Oh no, it was, yeah, it was only there. Okay, great. Let's try now. Ah, it does the same thing. Why the hell does it do that? Oh, it's still bad. With the following tools. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have an error? No. With oh, we did have another one. Sorry. Yeah, no, I have this feeling I want to kind of sit down and come up with a new thing. Like based on these learnings, there's something that doesn't quite add up to me. Okay, this is really weird. To resolve the request. Resolve request. Create a list of tasks to resolve. the requested, and this is resolve the requested. That's just wrong English. Generate a result. That's what we want. I think I'm gonna drop off soon. I need to eat some lunch, and I wanna think about this stuff. Yeah, okay, but this is good. This is actually good because I'm saying I think. Oh yeah. With the following tools, because it doesn't have any tools. So it can't really. I'm sorry, but I'm executing tools. Sorry. This is the thing. Like create user stories. This is just a prompt. It doesn't have tools. So we need to adjust for that. So tools dot length. We need to do. I think it's fine that we just do this. And then we have another one where we do. So tools.length. Yeah, this is weird. I thought, But I'm unable to execute commands. Why? Call function, call tool. Why the hell isn't it able to? Where do we actually? Oh. No, wait a minute. This is weird because all of this is down here. Create prompt on prompt with a general result based on this. This makes no sense. This is in isolation what it does for the create user stories. So it's calling the thing. Why does it say, I'm sorry, but I am unable to execute commands or tools? Wait a minute. Where do we set the result? So we're calling it. This is super weird. Why does it say that? I'm sorry, but I'm unable to execute commands or tools. But I never told you that you should execute. Does it think that it's a tool just based on create user stories? But it doesn't know that it's create user story. It only has its instructions. So why does it suddenly fail? Like I didn't change anything. Create prompt. With the following request, generate a result based on these instructions. Oh, maybe it's the actual like prompt thing we're getting in here. Let's see. Maybe it's what it's passing into the thing. Return. Oh, sorry. What the fuck did I do? Wait a minute. What's this? Why is that? Oh, sorry. Func. Yeah. So that will be like this. What the fuck am I passing into it? Oh, is it the parameters thing? Because not all tools has... No. No, I'm curious. Okay, call the create user stories tool to resolve the task. Okay. Create a list of tasks. So yeah, we're doing something bad. Yeah, reevaluate. Call the... Yeah, okay. So this is what's wrong. I'm asking it to call this thing. Yeah, and it doesn't really know that these are parameters. This is the thing. Like I really wanted to respond with a JSON of like the full function schema. But I can't do that now because the schema isn't actually... Oh, maybe... No, I can't do that. This sucks. This sucks. Uh, the following is delimited by. Give me the parameters. Give me the input parameters to resolve the task. Yeah, no. I kind of want to take a step back again and then reflect on this iteration. It's like it felt conceptually so fascinating and interesting, but it's insanely complicated to like iterate on it. Okay. Yeah, this wasn't very nice code. Can I see the what the? I want the task management where I write the description to add it to a list, see existing tasks, and delete tasks. Why is this so bad? Why isn't this based on low view? Oh, I think maybe I know why. Input parameters. So that should be. It should be the same here, right? We're also giving. Okay. To func scheme. Okay. To give. Yeah, we're gonna try this. See what happens. Like it's always this feeling that, oh, maybe this tiny tweak will just, oh, wait a minute, this was actually a good idea. Like I need a proof of concept. I don't feel like we have a proof of concept yet. Like, I wonder what the prompt was. Okay, with the following tools delimited by. And the following request. Maybe I'm not logging this request. Current tasks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's drop this one. Let's drop this one. Let's drop this one. And let's look at the prompt for each next task. I am curious. I'm curious. I'm curious. I just have this vision of like looking at this thing and you have like a really nice UI. You just see it kind of working through everything. It would be so cool. Oh, now it did it. But still, it's like, it doesn't really, it generates shitty code. So what did it actually, now how to, now so blah, blah, blah. This is a list of completed tasks delimited by triple quotes. Review just go from the input. Use results of the completed tasks. To give me the input parameters to resolve the next task. It should be next task. Yeah, and I wonder what it actually gave it. So we're going to look at the func response as well. So that will be response JSON. And then we are gonna to resolve the so this is to resolve the next task. Completed task. Next task is resolve is delimited. Resolve the next task. Okay, let's try this. I kind of, it's also like I'm building up intuition and I'm learning stuff, and it's almost like I already had this conclusion, like creating this agents craziness framework is like, that's way too ambitious for me regardless. There's other people that's gonna solve that. But there are things I can build that has value. The question is, when do I... Oh, generate Vue.js code from the inputs. Yeah, so this is the thing where it really messes up. It's like it takes the description and uses that to... I wonder where it gets the description from. Okay, so well, what's the description? Yeah, so this is the description. This is the description. Okay, so what's... This is the description of the task, and that is being used as input. It's almost like we shouldn't have a description. I'm gonna try... Okay, I'm gonna do something drastic. I'm gonna remove the description of the task. We're just gonna think tools here. I thought the description would kind of help, but I don't think it actually does that. Because everything is just a tool call anyways. I think I have a little bit of UI that needs to be fixed here. Oh no, we're just, yeah. What? Result description. Okay, that really messed it up. Actually removing, using the description based on your instructions. Wait, where do I even mention description? What? Create user story. Okay, so this is the create user stories tool. And I think I'm overdoing it. Like just with the following instructions, limited by triple quotes. It's called description, and then just prompt. I'm not sure if that's a good way to write it either, like with the following instructions. So what is it giving it? Response. Yeah, it just says generate Vue.js code from the input. Where's that coming from? Yeah, maybe we should remove. You know what? We're gonna remove stuff. We're gonna reduce the context here. We're also gonna remove reason. That one's fine. Where's the reason? There we go. So the tool is just gonna be a string. Let's see. Yeah, and so this is more like if it can't find it. So if no func, that's how we're gonna do it. Is that everywhere we have reason? No. So this should be this. Nothing like this. Let's simplify, simplify, simplify. No reason. Again, it's just gonna be this. It's almost like it should infer everything from the name of the still just says generate Vue.js code from the input. Why does this say that? So that's instruction. So this is like when we put the create a list of tasks to perform. That's fine. But then we're actually gonna call it. So this is like that's reevaluating. Where's the next task prompt? Here it is. So with the following input limited by. So we have next task, and it doesn't say anything about no. But here we do. Where does it get that text from? Somewhere I'm inserting the actual generate view JS code from the input. Oh, wait. There's still a description here. Status. Where's that description coming from? Oh, description of. Yeah, sorry. We're gonna drop the description. We're just gonna say like this is such an oversimplification. I'm very curious what this is gonna do. So the only time we use that description is to actually instruct during execution. And then we're just saying what tools to call. And this is very fascinating. Okay, that didn't work either. Yeah, give me the input parameters to resolve the next task. Okay, I'm gonna drop out. This is definitely not good stuff. I have some thinking to do. Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk later. Bye for now.